Welcome to the Digital Focus Podcast. I'm your host, John Suder, with my co-host, as per usual, Mr. Bart Mroz.
Hello.
Hello, Bart.
Hello.
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 And as is customary, I am forced to ask you, what was your awesome thing for this week?
Well, two things, and they all have to do with our beautiful sports team, the Eagles. They finally won again.
Yeah.
And Brandon Graham is back.
Brandon Graham came out of retirement. They said he was hanging around the training camp, around the camp all the time, and he was working out in the gym. And I guess someone must have put a bug in his ear and said, "Come on back, Brandon. Come on back."
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to, you know what? I'm taking the easy way out again. My awesome thing, once again, is Netflix because it's fall, it's cozy time. It gets dark around here around 5:00. So I've been watching some Netflix at night. You were a West Wing fan, correct?
Yes, I am, sir.
Have you ever watched The Diplomat?
I did the first season. I need to finish watching it, and I'm going to watch the rest of it.
Okay.
Yeah, this season's supposed to be really good.
We just finished season 3. Boy, oh boy. So for those who do not know The Diplomat, it's a high-stakes global drama meets messy office politics with a side of marriage drama. It stars Kerry Russell, and she must have a producer credit on this because she takes her clothes off a whole lot this season. Not nudity, but she's in her underwear a lot, and she's, I don't know. Anyway, she's a diplomat trying to keep her life from blowing up while her husband, also a diplomat, complicates her life even more. It's got a lot of backstabbing, international crisis, power plays, and for you West Wing fans, it also stars Allison Janney and Bradley Whitford. They play husband and wife, and I'm not going to give any spoilers away, but man, this season was amazing. I'll put that in the show notes, and you can look up The Diplomat on Netflix. And yep. West Wing's also on Netflix too, so you can do a double binge.
I did my annual, semi-annual watching of what's.
I got to do that. You know what? I think that's next for me. It's been on my list for a while. I'm running out of things to watch.
It's usually full West Wing, then you watch whatever the movie, whatever the ending was, and then newsroom right after it.
Right. Yep. All right, let's begin the show. When the cloud crashes your bed. And around 3 a.m. Eastern on Monday, one of Amazon's biggest cloud regions, US East 1, went offline and the internet collectively face-planted. And if you were around Monday, everyone thought we got hacked or it was the Russians or something funny was going on. And I had to go on Facebook and tell all the boomers, no, it's just an AWS outage. Websites, apps, and connected devices around the world glitched out. Bank customers at Lloyd's and Halifax suddenly couldn't access their accounts. United Airlines check-ins stopped working. And in one of the more surreal consequences, smart beds turned against their owners. We're talking about 8 Sleep, the high-end smart bed company whose 2,700 plus setups use cloud service to track your biometrics, adjust temperatures, and even change the angle of your bed. When AWS went down, so did the ability to do any of that. There's no offline mode, meaning when the cloud dies, the bed becomes a very expensive, very immovable rock. One frustrated Redditor wrote that their bed went on strike, refusing to move or cool down. Another said they were sweating because their pod was stuck at heat level 5 with no way to turn it off. 8 Sleep CEO Matteo Franchetti apologized on X, saying the AWS outage disrupted sleep for some customers and promising changes to make the pods outage-proof. But users weren't buying it. ESPN host Victoria Arlen replied that her bed was still malfunctioning, turning itself on and off even after unplugging it. Some 8 Sleep owners have gone so far as to jailbreak their pods, creating a workaround that lets the bed operate entirely offline. There's even a Discord and a GitHub community for it, where modders claim their version keeps the bed running if the internet dies. The broader takeaway, the AWS outage exposed just how tethered everyday life has become to the cloud. When a single data center blinks, it's not just your favorite app that breaks, it's your bed, your flight, and even your bank account. As one user put it, I can't believe I've linked my sleep and my health to a cloud provider's uptime. I thought this was hilarious.
So wait. So it went from a fancy bed to just a bed.
Just a bed. Yeah. The funny thing is that, I'm reading all these stories of how it's either stuck in a position or it's acting on its own. I mean, that's insane. You pay $3,000 for a bed and you can't even sleep in it.
That's weird. Wow. It has to go to the cloud to do it. That's they make like, wow. I didn't read the story until you literally just said it right now, but like, that's weird. Like you would think they would like have a tiny Raspberry Pi or any
or
like,
something inside of it for $2,700, and I'm sure that's the base model.
That is, wow. That's insane.
I mean,
like,
I can understand the Wi-Fi, but all the data going up to the cloud, like
what? Like,
the
so you, like,
biometric. So it's analyzing. It basically gives you that report that
Yeah,
the
but
same
that's-
thing your Apple
but
Watch
you're-
does.
yeah, but your regular like actual functionality should not be in the cloud. That makes no sense.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can't. Can you imagine you're laying there and your heat's on 5 and you're trying to turn it down and nope, sorry, Amazon's down. Sorry,
That's-
pal.
Right. Like, no. I mean, obviously that's dangerous in a lot of ways. Like, why would you not have it like a control thing in your, like, wow.
Yeah, you would think.
Sorry.
You would
I just
think.
don't like,
I mean, first thing that came to mind was like, well, why don't they have some sort of manual crank in case the cloud is down? I mean, like,
or just literally, even if it's electronics, but like actual kill switch or any one of those things, right?
Yeah.
A kill switch that goes back to like original form.
I mean, yeah. I mean, yes, right. Like a reset, a hard reset.
A reset, right?
It's a funny story, but this could have been dangerous for certain people. I mean, this is a very like this really points to how dependent we are on cloud services. And I was going to put this in the story, but I forgot. Days before the AWS outage, they had replaced a bunch of developers that maintain the cloud with AI. It all goes back to the AI, doesn't it, Bart?
So I wonder if there's like this kind of employee went. Let's see.
Time for you to go down.
Pull that out. Whoopsie.
Let's pull that plug. All right,
Let me
that was
submit code to live. To
right. Push to live. Bye bye.
Okay, and close my laptop. Goodbye.
Jeez. Yeah. So again, it just points to how reliant we are on cloud services. I mean, people were like, I found a couple instances during the outage. I was trying to do things and it was like, that ain't working. It's not working. But it didn't ruin my day. But
No.
I know people that have 4 things that they use every day and none of them work. They basically just shut their laptop and said, I can't work today.
So my Alexas are connected to my TV. And actually, by the way, the reason that actually is great for me, at least when a kiddo runs around and you want to like mute or you want to pause TV for him or like turn it off, like it just makes it, I don't have to look for the remote, right? That's literally one of the things and it wasn't working in the morning when I'm taking him to school. And I was like, what is happening? Realized it, I was like, oh, whatever. And I just forgot about it. But later in the day, I was trying to set a timer on Alexa and she was like, it's an error. I don't know what to do with this. I was like, what? And I was like, oh, that is just.
Yeah, I ran
once again, but that once again goes back to why isn't someone that on device and not like Apple does it on device, right? Like they're very particular about that stuff because of security. Why is that on some of that stuff on device?
I'm going to think there's a $sign connected to that answer, but I don't know. That's above my pay grade, but that's how it is. I mean, I guess it's just easier to just throw everything up to the cloud and cross your fingers and hope it never goes down.
I guess.
I mean, a lot of people don't really understand how all that, like, what do you mean Snapchat's not working? What do you mean? It's like, where do you think all that data goes? You think it just sits on your phone? Do you think it's all on your phone? Right. Like, that's not how the
in reality, most of the apps on phones are just a display system. That's about it.
It's just displaying data. What do you think? All your TikToks are sitting on your phone? They're not. They're somewhere else. They're in the cloud. All right, let's go to the next story. ChatGPT debuts Atlas browser. OpenAI has officially launched ChatGPT Atlas, its own AI-driven web browser, marking a direct challenge to Google's dominance in online search and browsing. ChatGPT Atlas is a Mac OS exclusive browser at launch, with upcoming versions for Windows, iOS, and Android. The browser integrates OpenAI's ChatGPT directly into its core interface. The URL bar doubles as an AI prompt, letting users interact with the web through conversation rather than traditional search terms. Users can ask questions about pages, summarize information, or even automate online tasks. That's using the agent. Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, calls it a once-in-a-decade opportunity to rethink what a browser can be, suggesting that Atlas could redefine how people interact with the internet. The move immediately rocked the tech market. Alphabet stock fell 2% following the announcement. So, Bart, you told me about Atlas the other day. I finally got around to installing it yesterday. I'm very impressed. Again, I have the Comet Perplexity, which I've kind of fallen in love with. So now I'm kind of going back and forth. But I really do like Atlas, especially since I told you before we started, I went back to my ChatGPT Plus subscription. I got rid of Gemini and I'm back on that. So it's really, it's fast. It does a lot of things that I haven't even scraped yet because I've only had it on my laptop for 24 hours. But very impressive, very cool. Yeah. So what do you think about that?
So we've been playing with Comet for a while, which is kind of cool having agents done. Anthropic has their agents too, so they can kind of do that thing. And as it is, ChatGPT released theirs. It actually is on top of Chromium, which is basically what Chrome is, which is what WebKit is.
Yeah, it all has
like
that same Chrome feel, which is fine. I'd rather have something familiar than something,
Well, so for me, and then there's Edge, right? Edge is the Microsoft stuff. That's all based on Chromium too. Firefox, I think, is the only one that's not based on Chromium. They have their own. So Safari is technically based on WebKit, but it's also whatever. For me, it's more of people are like, oh, it's just Chromium and I wrap around. And I'm like, great, but if this is just the beginning of it, it's starting to be a thing, right? So the agents are the most important thing in it because they'll run it, right? But you can still use your plugins. Like people use plugins in Chrome all the time, right? So suddenly you have this one container that has it, right? So the other day I used it. I used it for look at somebody's profile in LinkedIn, what they're writing about, and can I match writing with business development sort of things and kind of post it like that and match that up, right? You can't just post LinkedIn blocks AI from doing it. So you basically just clicked all the buttons and clicked the profile, clicked everything and pulled in every single thing. And like, it just did all that work I was going to do anyway.
That's really fascinating to watch the agents work because I told you last week I had done that in Perplexity and it was like trying to solve a problem and it was solving it as I'm watching it. I had hands off. I was like, wow, this is the future. This is really
right. Cool. It's just the beginning of it, right? It's just another tool, right? It makes all that stuff better. Like everybody's like, oh, it's going to do this or it's going to order things. Oh, great, dandy. I'm looking from like my own perspective of like what I need done. And if it can do faster work than I'm doing, the things I'm doing anyway, automation wise that way, awesome, even better.
Yeah. So the conversation is now that agents that's the word that's bubbling up now. Everybody's saying the AI agents. AI agents are going to do your work for you. So they're wondering does Atlas and browsers of the like signal the decline of your traditional search and SEO because now you have conversational browsing. We don't know yet.
But people are putting that stuff into ChatGPT and also like LMs anyway, right? To be searched and how that works. Like I think the whole browsing habits and how that's happening is definitely changing.
Yeah. You know what I find myself doing though sometimes, and I made this complaint probably last week or the week before. I use the URL bar. I'm just lazy. I go, tell me when time Pizza Hut opens. I don't go to Pizza Hut, but that's just an example. Well, these browsers are going to give you every the history of Pizza Hut and why they open at 10 a.m. And it's like, no. So I just keep my Safari open in the corner when I'm like going, what time does the deli open? Oh, 10 o'clock. Cool. That's all I need. But for everything else, I'm in these AI browsers using the agents and it's actually, what did I say to you the other day? It's like, what a wonderful time we live in. Like,
yeah, it feels like old school area.
It feels like early internet. Yeah, it really does.
Like we had to deal with that. I've been, what I actually like about, what's called Atlas is like that bar in the middle is like, it's either AI or you can just put the URL and it does it. I've played with it lately a lot more and I like it. I like the cleanness of it and stuff like that. And the only thing is like, they don't have the mobile apps yet. So you can't really sync whatever, but that's fine.
If you're using Perplexity, if you're using Comet, it'll show up. Your stuff will still show up in the app. I mean, that doesn't ChatGPT do the same thing, but you're not going to get the same performance on your mobile app as you're going to get in Atlas. That's the point you're making.
No, it's just there's no web browser for mobile yet.
Right.
But if you're searching and it does all the ChatGPT stuff, it's going to show up in the ChatGPT app on your phone anyway.
Right.
It's the same thing.
Which I like, because there's times where I'm like if I'm preparing the scripts for this and I think of something and I just have my phone, I'm able to go there, pop my thoughts in there, and then come back when I'm sitting back at my control center here and pull the data off and throw it in the script. So yeah, I really like that. I like the interoperability. Reminds me of Apple. Speaking of Apple, with this move, OpenAI positions itself in the same league as Apple, Google, and Microsoft by controlling interface layer, not just AI models. That was the thing I was trying to think of. They're now moving into the interfaces where it's going to be more and more a part of your daily, like, you don't even think about it. It's like there's people who don't know what a web browser is. They know how to look the internet, but they don't know what a browser is. They don't know how the magic happens. They don't know how the sausage is made. They just know that they go on their phone. That's what's going to happen to these AI browsers, where it's just like, oh, well, it's just there and that's just what I use.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Atlas, it's redefining browsing, as I said. You think of it as your homepage. That's where you're going to go once you say, I want to get on the internet. It's just it's either going to be that or one of the other AI browsers. And if Apple gets their act together, maybe they'll put one out soon. Who the hell knows? This joins the other AI browsers that are gaining traction, like Comet, as we've mentioned, ad infinitum. The browser company's Arc, which I haven't played with. I installed Dia, but the day I tried to play with Dia, that was the day of the outage, so I never got to really dig into Dia. And Notion's Neo, which I also have not played with. So the field's getting crowded again. Reminds me of the 90s. Everybody's trying to make a browser, but we'll see what happens.
Exactly, sir.
Exactly, sir.
Exactly.
All right, final story of the day. Grok takes over X. Elon Musk just announced that X, formerly Twitter, will kill the algorithm as we know it. Within 6 weeks, the platform is deleting all the traditional signals, likes, replies, and reposts that have guided what shows up in your feed for over a decade. In their place comes Grok, X's in-house AI, which will now read and watch over 100 million posts and videos daily to decide what each user sees. The platform is also testing an update that keeps people browsing inside X even after clicking external links. This is a historic shift. For the first time, a major social network is giving an AI model full control over content discovery. That means chasing likes or timing posts may soon stop mattering. Instead, users and creators will need to figure out how to write for the model, how to create content Grok reads as engaging or valuable. Growth hacking transforms into prompt engineering. The ripple effects could hit influencer marketing, advertising, and political messaging fast. You know what? this is opinion. This is my soapbox. X is turned into a real field of garbage. I've stopped posting on there. I'm going to take our socials down from the podcast, and we're going to go over to Threads and Blue Sky, because there is just so much dumb crap and hate and bots and porn, and just, it's not valuable anymore. I used to follow a lot of designers on there, and they've all just given up. I don't get any value from it anymore. What has been your experience on X?
Depends how you look at it. If it's your feed and you kind of have it curated, and
my feed is garbage. I know you post a lot of business stuff, because you're the only person that I subscribe notifications from. So I know when you post, and you post.
Yeah, I don't, because we've been around Twitter since it was Twatter.
This was Twatter, and
we had to
setting up my Twitter.
And you had to text it. Remember that? Like, it was still a stupid green bubble logo.
Yeah,
that's how long we've been around
the text, right? If your plan didn't have unlimited text.
Yeah, that was like a long time ago. We've been around it that long. But also, if you curate your feed and words and stuff, like, you have to actually very much curate it. Then it looks fine. But then you flip over to For You, whatever that tab is, it is just ridiculous.
I go in for you because for years, see, I would always just go for you because I'm like, let's see something new here, and I'll find a guy who does these really cool robotic AI videos. And then my feed will be, a lot of robot video, like a lot of stuff that I'm really into. But then if you happen to just interact with a nice little political post or, then suddenly you're getting,
everything,
a fire hose of crap. And it's not even people being productive. It's people just yelling at each other. And I'm just so tired of it.
It's yeah, I look at it as I think all the feeds are built that way, right? Like if you follow certain things and mute certain things, and the same thing with TikTok, right? Like if you start, as a Gary Vee says, like go look at puppies and sunsets like that, and the next morning your feed is gonna be better, right? Yeah. Twitter is that's on TikTok. Twitter you can do that, but I think Twitter is more of they do serve you all the stuff because they need to make money, and that's really like intentional, right?
Yeah, they make money off of rage. I that's fine. I get it.
I'm actually weirdly, I wonder how, if they run it with AI, I wonder if that's actually going to be better. Because then it's going to
find out one way or another.
I know. I'm curious actually, because if you think about it, right? If it's Grok and it's tied to you, then it knows stuff about like the whole shaping of it. So I wonder if that's actually going to be better.
So it's going to decide visibility based on comprehension, not clicks. So
right.
It's actually reading the post and going, would Bart like this or not?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, I wonder if that's like a whole different. Yeah, because when you think about it, like all the stuff that like ChatGPT knows about us now, and how I form my things and how I want to write and stuff like that. So I wonder if that's going to be actually better. Like take out all the nonsense stuff out. I actually wonder if this is going to be a better version of it.
Yeah, well, some of the Debbie Downers are saying this is the end of social media strategy. Could AI-driven feeds be more relevant or more manipulated? What happens when brands and influencers start optimizing for Grok instead of humans? Because that's really what it is. You got to please the robot before the humans see it.
But that's what they've been doing anyway.
I know. But I'm just saying.
They start. I mean, they all do it right now because all the brands have to be in every single LLM to come up. What we were talking about remember with the whole voice thing.
Yeah.
We're like, I want to book a hotel. It's going to give you Marriott because that's what you follow. Like, this is the same thing.
Yeah. So if every platform trains on our content, who's actually shaping what we see? Us or the model? I'm going to say it's the model's going to shape what you get.
Not us, but that shapes it. I think at the end of the day, it's still us.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's exposing you what you're prevalent to.
Oh, no. I don't want to be exposed.
Exposed anyway.
No one wants to see that.
No. Ladies and gentlemen, I know this man for a very long time.
Nobody wants to see that. I'm just curious when this rolls out. So it says it's going to delete the old heuristics from the recommendation system within 6 weeks. So what is actually like, what is it going to look like? That's what I am curious about. Like, am I suddenly going to go on Twitter and be like, what is this? Or is it just going to be sunshine and rainbows?
I don't know. I think that's what I'm also excited about. Like the idea that they'll delete like the thing, and all of a sudden the what's it called? My feed has to relearn what I like.
It's got to relearn. Yeah. So maybe you know what? Maybe I should stop looking at it so negatively. Maybe it's a fresh start. Maybe it's,
maybe because we are, this is decades worth.
I mean, they got to do something about the bot problem, man. It is just, there's so many, what do you call it? The no photo with the, join.
Oh, you see it.
Join Twitter 3 days ago and he's got an opinion. I'm like, okay, cool. Why is he in my feed?
Well, I love when people try to reply to them and you're like, why are you
wasting your time? You're yelling at a room full of phones in China.
Right. And it's all like, it's funny how it's like, what are you doing? Stop it.
I got people, they fight. I go, you don't understand. And you can always tell a bot because the bot will come back and like what you said. Even if you said, you're a monster and you eat babies, it says, oh, I like this. All right, we'll keep an eye on that. That is going to be really interesting. So we got about 6 weeks to figure out if we're going to stay on Twitter or not. I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I'm getting. I don't like it. But hopefully, this might be a fresh start for us all. All right, we're going to close it up. We hope you learned something, but if not, at least you wasted some time. We'll be back next week with more questionable advice and unsolicited opinions. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. If you prefer the video experience, you can check out our YouTube channel. Thank you to our YouTube watchers. I see you're watching the videos, but not really listening to the audio on YouTube, which, hey, whatever. You can get both. And you can check us out on the socials, Bluesky, Twitter, Facebook. For now, we'll see. And sign up for our newsletter where you get extended show recaps and behind-the-scenes info in the show. Links are in the show notes. Bart, your closing thoughts?
Stay curious, my friends.
Stay curious. You know what? I like that. Stay curious. Stay curious, stay positive, and we'll see you on the internet next week. Until next time, may your internet be fast, your video calls be clear, and your mute button always work when you need it most. Peace.
Peace.
What do you do now,